So, concerning the classification of bacteria, we can classify them based on three criteria. The first criteria is the requirement of oxygen. So, based on this, we have four types. The first one is the strictly aerobic bacteria, the ones that only survive in the presence of oxygen. They cannot really survive in regions where there is no oxygen. The strictly anaerobic bacteria are the ones that only survive in the absence of oxygen, so a small concentration of oxygen can actually kill them. And the third type is the facultative anaerobic bacteria. Those bacteria can only survive, sorry, they can survive in the presence or absence, so wherever you throw them, they can actually survive. The microaerophiles, those that require oxygen at lower concentration than the concentration found in air, as its name said, micro, which means little, and aerophiles, it comes from the lovers of oxygen, but only in a little concentration. So the second criteria to classify bacteria is based on their morphology. So based on this, we have three forms. The first one is having the shape round, the round shape. So as an example, we have cocci. And the second one is the rod-shaped bacteria, such as you have bacillus, you also have vibrio cholera, all right? And the third form is the spiral-shaped bacteria, such as spirilla. Concerning the third criteria where bacteria are classified, we have two types. So, sorry, we have based on the energy sources. So, based on this, we have two types. The first one is the light energy. So, some of the bacteria are phototrophic bacteria, which means that they are photosynthetic, such as the cyanobacteria. Sometimes you go to a certain pond and you see there is a green color, and it's not maybe because of algae. There's no algae right there, so probably it's because of cyanobacteria living in some places. It gives the color green. So cyanobacteria is photosynthetic. It can get its own energy from light. The second type is the bacteria that are chemotrophic bacteria. They um, have their energy, they get their energy from degrading the chemical compounds around them. They just digest them in such a way. Concerning the third thing that we're going to speak about today is the bacterial structure. So we have two things, two components we're going to speak about in a certain bacteria. We have the essential components and we have the non-essential components. The essential ones, all of the bacteria have them because they are basic for this bacteria, such as the bacterial cell wall, except for the bacteria called mycoplasma, which is pathogenic. This kind of bacteria lacks an cell wall. We have the cytoplasmic membrane, which is below the cell wall, and also we have the cytoplasmic genetic material that contains the ribosomes, and those are essential. And also the nucleoid is found inside in the cytoplasm. I mean. The non-essential components, they are not really essential as the name said, so not all of the bacteria have them, such as the capsule, which is a protective, and we're going to speak about it later on. We have the fibria or the pili, as we can see in here. They can help transmit the plasmid from bacteria to another. Also, the plasmids, sorry, though we have two types of fibria or pili. We have the sex pili and we have just the pili. The pili, they are important for the bacteria to attach to certain objects, and the sex pili, they help in transmitting the plasmid from a bacteria to another. The flagella is important for the bacteria to move, and the spores are kind of like certain things that bacteria do in hard conditions to protect itself. So these non-essential components are not found in all of the bacteria, just in certain bacteria. And the plasmids are very important. They contain genes that confer resistance against antibiotics and other things in the bacteria, but they are not really essential. Not all bacteria have plasmids, and we're going to discuss the plasmids later on as well.